Alright guys, in today's video, we're going to talk about something different. We're going to talk about your financial fitness. Alright guys, so a little bit of a background. So, I always wanted to be a fitness coach, but to do that, I needed to make sure that I basically cut down all the things that could be a liability to my success. So basically cutting down all of my bills and basically living a more simple life in order to eventually stop working a full-time regular job. And so I was really inspired by actually Dave Ramsey and all of his client transformations. If you guys don't know, Dave Ramsey does have a free YouTube channel that you can go ahead and watch all of his, they're called debt-free screams. So basically the people that follow his program or followed one of his books, the goal eventually is to be 100% debt-free, which means, you know, no student loan debt, no credit card debt, no car payments, no debt at all, except maybe a house, but most of the people end up actually paying off their house. So to be 100% debt-free, you need to pay off your home as well. So zero debt. And what debt is, for those of you who do not know, is something that you owe somebody. So when you buy a car, like certain people are like, just bought a new car, but the way I look at it is I ask myself, is it paid off? Because technically, if it's not paid off, it's the bank's car or it's whatever financial institution's car that you bought the car from or you got your loan through. So until that debt is paid off, it's technically not yours. If you do not have the title in hand, that is not your car. Same with your house. If you miss payments, you're gonna lose your house. Same with the car. If you miss payments, you're gonna lose your car because it's not technically yours yet. But anyway, back to the subject. All right, so I have a bunch of notes here and I'm going to basically talk about what I do and what I recommend you do to be financially successful or in a better financial state. So if you guys don't know, 70+% of Americans, and I'm sure in other countries around the world, people do not save. People do not save or put away for their future, and people are living paycheck to paycheck. Most people don't have a substantial emergency fund of at least 3 to 6 months of their salary. So if they lose their job, they're basically kind of screwed. So a saying that I know is if you don't tell your money where to go, it will just leave you and run away. And then 10, 20, 30 years from now, you're gonna wonder where all that money went. And it happens quickly, you guys. Time flies so fast. And one day you're gonna be 40, 50, 60, 70 years old and wish you would have done this or that with your money. In fact, I had a financial advisor who told me he's never met an older person ever say, man, I wish I didn't save so much money. In fact, it's always the opposite. I wish I would have done more to basically set up my future for when I get old. A lot of young people these days say, when I'm 60, 70, or 80 years old, I'm basically dead anyway, so why would I want a house paid off? Why would I want to be basically financially set? But when I look at like my mother, she's in her early 50s, and at that age, she still looks young. So I don't want to be at that point when I'm in that age group that I am not having my house paid off, that I'm living in debt, and also I just want to be debt free so I can enjoy my golden years as an older person. So basically I just want to set myself up so that everything is fine when I'm older. So since I follow Dave Ramsey, what he recommends you do is make a budget on the first of the month or even a day prior. If you know what your income's going to be for that month, go ahead and make the budget for the month. And then you're going to subtract all your needs. Needs are like things like rent, electricity, you know, gas for your car to go to work. If you have car payments, your car payment, your credit card payments if you have debt, and then your food. Like, those are essential needs. Once your essential needs are met, if you haven't already paid off all your debt, you're gonna start what he calls the debt snowball. So actually, the step before then is to at least have a $1,000 emergency fund. Once that's set up, then you're gonna start the debt snowball. The way he does the debt snowball is he goes from the smallest debt to the largest. So you're gonna pay that off. And if you want more details on all the baby steps, go to everydollar.com. That's Dave Ramsey's kind of website, and it's free. You can download the app. I personally use the free version of the app to track all my spending. So I track like my income, and then I subtract all my utilities, my needs, and you can track your gas, your grocery fund, everything through that app. So I do the free one, and that's perfectly fine. All right, so I know some of you are going to say, but I already don't make enough to save money or to do certain things. Well, these are some ways that you can save money, and I'm pretty sure that you can find some money. So areas to save money. So I've known somebody who was making a huge monthly car insurance payment, and I asked him to go shop around, maybe go to, check out Geico, Progressive, check out a bunch of competitors before you make your final decision. And guess what? He ended up saving over $100 a month with Geico. So shop around. If you currently have internet, shop around within your local area to see who's gonna give you the better price. Ask for discounts. Don't be afraid to seem cheap or stingy, and ask those questions that may seem embarrassing, but it's gonna save you a lot of money in the long run. So even like your cell phone provider, go to them and see what the competitors are pricing their monthly cell phone bill as, and be like, if you don't lower my bill, or if you don't do something to save me money, I'm thinking about leaving to this company. 9 times out of 10, they're gonna go ahead and try to do everything to save you as a customer and make sure that you're staying with them. So try to call your cable company, call your internet company, call your car insurance company, maybe try to get lower rates on your health care. Do whatever you can to save money. From there, try to save money on your groceries, or try to save money on food. A lot of people eat out. Also, a lot of people go to the convenience stores and do all these small purchases. So if you go to Starbucks every other day or every day, cut that out. Start making your coffee at home. If you eat out a lot, start packing your lunch. It's pretty simple, you guys, but it's the little purchases that add up to a lot. So a lot of young people these days, and especially in the fitness industry, love to basically show the latest, shoes, the latest clothes, the latest cars, the latest gadgets, and so forth, and kind of make this almost false image of what it is to be a fitness person or run an online coaching business or whatever. They make it seem luxurious. But a lot of times I like to look beyond those images and see that, and ask myself, is this person living debt-free? 9 times out of 10, no, they're not. A lot of things are on loans. And if you live life like that while you're young, it may seem cool to have the latest car, the latest gadgets, the latest things, but if you can't afford it, if you can't pay it off, then it's not very good for your income. So that's the next thing I want to show you guys, is an income example of what it looks like when you're debt-free and what it looks like when you're making all these car payments and payments in general. So we're gonna get to that right now. All right, you guys, I made a basically example of a person that makes $4,500 per month. So it's living debt-free versus living in debt. So let's look at the one on the left. This example is for somebody who is living in debt. And this is basically, honestly, a lot of people live like this. I talk to a lot of people who want financial advice, and I'm not a financial advisor, but a lot of people I know see how I manage my money and how I'm smart about it, and that I'm not living totally in, basically that extremist thing where I'm not basically living because I'm budgeting all the time, because a lot of people associate budgeting with living very tightly and not being able to enjoy themselves. So I just want to basically demyth that. In this first example, this person has a car payment. They got a Beamer, just an example, of a $500 minimum per month car payment. Then they got their car insurance. Then they have a credit card payment. Maybe they're $10,000 in debt. Maybe the minimum is $250 a month. They got their personal loan debt. They got rent, utilities. And by the way, for these debts, when you pay the minimum payment on credit card debt or anything, you're adding up so much in interest, and that's how they make money off of you. So this person is making these minimum payments but getting nowhere because of the interest rates. And then they got the rent, utilities, groceries, eating out, clothes and shoes, Spotify, Netflix, that's the typical one for a lot of people. Gas, medical insurance, and they spend the rest on others. So total wise, they're making a good amount per month, but they're losing on all their money throughout all this spending that they have that's unnecessary. But there are essentials like groceries, an essential. Making these payments are essential because they have this debt, and if they don't make these payments, then that's no bueno for their credit and everything else like that. They need to pay rent to live. So basically, this person should cut down on their debt and start the debt snowball and get rid of all those payments. Now we're going to use somebody with the same income and, monthly rent amount. So this person doesn't have a car payment, car's paid off, so they just have car insurance payment. Then they have their rent, same amount, utilities and internet, same amount. Groceries, $300 per month, which is same amount. Eating out, they don't eat out as much, so that's less, $150 a month. Gas, $250 a month. Netflix, Spotify, same thing. They got medical insurance, which is the same. And then after all of their needs are taken out, this is what they have left, $1,980. Then this person can invest in their retirement, $500 a month, and do other investments, $250 a month, like stocks and other, if they like crypto, I guess. And then they save the rest to $1,230 per month for their future home. So this person is on track for success. This person has zero retirement, $500 of savings, and is living paycheck to paycheck. So if this person lost their job, they'd basically be screwed unless they can ask their family or friends for help. Okay, I forgot to mention, so this person who's living debt-free, they have a rainy day fund, or what they call an emergency fund, of $27,000. So that would cover this person 6 months if they were to lose their job. This person has a retirement that they're investing in every month so they can retire. They're on track to buy their house in cash. So this person is on track to live a debt-free life and will have more income when they're older to spend on other things, whereas this person doesn't even have their future set up for success. So this person's gonna have to work their whole life in order to sustain this lifestyle. All right, so a lot of you guys may argue that, why would you want to plan for your future when you're older? But trust me, you're not going to regret it. And also, even if you are putting maybe a minimum amount toward your retirement plan, whatever workplace you work for, they usually have retirement options like a 401k and stuff like that. Even if you're making some payments toward that, you cannot depend on your retirement to take care of you. A lot of people that I know who've retired from their jobs at an older age, they always tell me that their retirement isn't 100% of what they were making at the peak of their job or at the peak of their earning potential. Everybody usually who, work normal jobs, you have your working years, after college. So 22 to like usually 60 years of age is probably the average age people retire. Those working years, so at the peak, maybe in your 50s, early 50s to late 50s, you're making the most amount, right? And then once you retire, your job isn't gonna say they're paying you $150,000 a year. They're not gonna be paying you $150,000 a year at your retirement. You have to plan for at least that to be cut in half or more. It depends on your retirement plan, if you have a pension or what's going on with that. But you can't plan to be making the same amount at your peak when you were younger than when you're older. So if you have an older person who's retired with all this debt, they basically have to get another job. A lot of people who don't have their house paid off, who have car payments, maybe they have to send their children through college and don't have that saved up. And Dave Ramsey also talks about college funds in his book. But they have to get a second job. So I know a lot of people who've technically retired, but they have to work a second job in order to sustain the lifestyle that they've been living, which is a lifestyle full of debt. Whereas if you take that other person who's already debt-free and they're retired and their house is paid off, so they don't have a mortgage, they don't have a house payment. What if they save for their children's college funds so they don't have to worry about tuition? And then also this person has also invested in other ways of having retirement. So maybe not only their job's 401k, maybe they also did a Roth IRA or some other types of retirement options. Well, this person not only has their normal job retirement, but they have their Roth retirement, and they may have other sources of income because they've been investing whatever funds they had extra after their house was paid off. So this person who had been living debt-free and followed all the guidelines to live, successfully, this person is basically now a millionaire, and it can now, focus on taking care of others, giving to others, and doing what they're most passionate about instead of living, basically your golden years or your older aged years in fear and debt and having to work till you die. Basically, I don't want to live like that because YOLO. In the other spectrum of you only live once, you have to think, yeah, you only live once. So why would you want to put yourself through all this pain in order to basically keep up with the Joneses? Because that's what it comes down to. A lot of people want to live in the now. They want to have the nice car now, the nice clothes now. They want to do that while they're young because a lot of times people just want to, live with people at a level that they cannot keep up with. And a lot of people cannot afford to be buying Louis Vuitton bags. A lot of people cannot afford to be buying Yeezys. But they do it anyway because they're like, I'm young and I have this much extra this month, so why not treat myself with this purse, or why not treat myself with the Yeezys or whatever the newest trends are. So yeah, you guys, just my take on Finance 101. If you like this video, give it a like and comment down below if finance stuff interests you. Then I can do more videos on finance, such as building a credit score and stuff like that. And also, by the way, I wanted to talk about credit real quick. So someone argued with me that the bad thing about paying off your vehicle, which I already did a few, it's been I think 2 years now, but I paid off my vehicle. And so I have the title, it's mine, fully, 0 car payments, like the best thing ever. And a lot of people are surprised because the car is basically a newish car, it's 2013. So it is relatively new. A lot of people are surprised that I paid it off so quickly. I think I paid it off in less than 3 years. So maybe I was making car payments for like 2 years, I forget. But anyways, I paid it off and it was like the best thing to get rid of. Like, not having a car payment is the best thing ever. And owning your car in cash, like outright. If I ever wanted to upgrade, that car is not owed on loans or anything like that. But what was I talking about? Oh, somebody argued to me that, well, wouldn't getting rid of your car payment basically make it so you're not going to build credit anymore and make it so your credit score is going to go down because that monthly car payment was building your credit? Well, no, because you can build credit in other ways. You don't have to have a huge car payment to build credit or a huge mortgage to build credit. It's ridiculous. You can go ahead and get a secured credit card if you don't already have an established credit. And what that is a credit card that's technically a credit card, but not because you put money up front toward that credit card. So say it has a $500 limit. So you put $500 of your cash to the bank. So that's the security. If you don't make that payment, that bank has your $500 to pay off that credit card. So what I recommend is using less than 15% of the max of your credit card. So if it's $1,000 limit you have, use $100 or a little over, but keep it less than 50% of the credit limit, and pay it off every month. And I use that credit card not as a credit card to get in debt, not because I need that $100 a month, but I already had that $100 a month budgeted, but I had it budgeted toward gas. So I'll use my credit card for gas, and I also get paid back from the bank. I have cash rewards program with my bank, so I spend less than 50%, usually around 10% or less, and I pay it off every month, and I use it towards stuff I already budgeted for, like gas for your car, and you pay it off every month. Never let it build interest, you guys. That is key. And also the reason why I keep it 15% or less of the credit limit is a lot of times your credit score is based on your credit to debt ratio. So the bank looks at how much money of credit could you spend. So say you have like, I don't know, I don't have 3 credit cards, but say you have 3 credit cards and say your credit limit is 12 grand. Well, they look at you better if you're a person that's like, maybe you only have $300 on those cards altogether. So your credit to debt ratio is crazy because your debt is this small and your ratio is this big. So it shows that you can be trusted, that you're responsible. Whereas a person who's say $10,000 in debt of their $12,000 credit availability, the bank doesn't look at that very well. They look at it as a person who cannot, manage their money well. They keep getting in debt, and unfortunately those are the people that they make money off of, because you can never get out of that debt and you're paying minimum payments and paying a lot in interest rates. So basically that is how I use credit cards, is I use it to make money and to build up my credit. So my credit's actually been still gradually going up since I paid off my car. And also my mom pointed out something really good, whereas say in the future I wanted to buy a car, through a loan or whatever, but that's not what I'm going to do. But say I wanted to do that, or say I wanted to get a loan or something. Say I have the same credit score as another individual, but say this other individual has car debt, they have personal loan debt, they have credit card debt, they have all this debt. Well, when they pull up your credit score and everything, they not only look at your score, but they look at how much is this person in debt. Now, me, 0 debt versus somebody with the same credit score with a lot of debt, they're gonna want to choose me over that person because they know that I have more income to be able to make these payments responsibly and not be, missing payments and not be able to make my bills or pay my bills. And that's, at the end of the day, what the bank and financial institutions look at before giving you a loan. They want to make sure you're going to be able to make those payments. Okay, so yeah, that concludes the end of the video. So I know a lot of fitness channels don't like to include finances because they kind of like to put up this image as if they're super successful and they have all this nice stuff, but I want to be transparent with you guys. So that's how I like to do my finances. I do budget every first of the month and tell my money where to go and not let it run me. So it's basically super awesome, not only for your future and your financial success and all that stuff, but it's good for your stress levels. Now that I know where I'm going, I don't have to worry and fight with myself and talk about and think to myself what about the future? A lot of times people like to put that in the back burner because they think budgeting is boring, budgeting means not living life, when I have been living my best life and my most fulfilling life. Like you guys see, I still take little mini road trips, go on mini trips, and treat myself even with budgeting. So I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, please give it a like. Subscribe if you haven't. This is a fitness channel mainly, and I am doing a 90-day cut, and that's still going on. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.